All right, welcome back. In this fourth part of our Mycelium Matrix series, we're going a little deeper, a little darker. We're going to talk about the invisible forces that can feel like they're draining our very life force.
You know that feeling, right? That sense that you're just stuck or completely drained, and you can't even put your finger on why. It's this feeling that no matter how hard you try, there's some invisible weight just holding you back. A lot of us know this feeling all too well, but what if it's more than just a bad mood?
And this quote, man, it just nails it. We're not talking about a prison with iron bars and stone walls. This is a prison of perception, a system that's running just under the surface of our awareness, limiting us in ways we've been taught to believe are just normal.
So let's get into it. What exactly is this invisible drain? And, probably the most important question, where does it get its power from? See, we have this idea that some outside force is stealing our power. But the truth is, it's a lot more subtle than that. Through all sorts of conditioning, we develop these patterns, these habits of thought and behavior that just unconsciously hand our energy over. It's a system we're actually participating in most of the time without even knowing it.
Okay, so when we use this term, energetic parasite, what are we actually talking about? It's not some monster hiding under the bed. It's an internal mechanism. It's this vicious cycle where one negative thought triggers a negative feeling, and that feeling just reinforces more negative thoughts, and on it goes. This loop becomes a program, just running on autopilot, and it literally feeds on itself.
And this quote from Owen Cook, wow, it just cuts right to the bone, doesn't it? Living inside these loops is completely exhausting. You pour all of your precious energy into validating these feelings of fear or not being good enough, trying to fill a bucket that has no bottom. It is a miserable way to live.
Okay, so if these loops are the parasite, what's on the menu? What are they actually feeding on? Well, the answer is in the very energy our own bodies produce. Think about it like this. Your body is basically a broadcast tower. And every single thought, every emotion you have generates a real, measurable electromagnetic field. You are constantly broadcasting a signal out into the world. So the question isn't if you're broadcasting, it's what frequency are you on?
And this slide really breaks it down. On one side, you've got incoherence. That's the parasite's fuel. We're talking scattered brain waves, a heart rhythm that's all over the place, contradictory thoughts. You're literally broadcasting chaos, and this chaotic energy is exactly what feeds the loop. But then on the other side, you have coherence. This is harmonic brain waves, a steady heart, a focused intention. This is sovereign energy. This is a broadcast of order and power.
So the big question is, if you're stuck broadcasting chaos, how in the world do you switch the channel to coherence? Well, for the answer, we're not going to look up, we're going to look down. Deep into the soil, to the greatest recycler on the entire planet, Mycelium.
And to really grasp the sheer power we're talking about, get this, over 8 miles. That's how many miles of these tiny mycelial threads can be packed into a single cubic inch of healthy soil. It's just mind-blowing. It's this vast biological superhighway right under our feet.
The great mycologist Paul Stamets calls it Earth's natural internet, and it's the perfect description. This isn't just some passive structure. This network is a planet-wide communication system, sharing resources, sending information. It's a sentient, responsive intelligence that keeps the whole ecosystem in balance.
You see, its core job is to manage the cycle of life and death. It's nature's ultimate cleanup crew. When something in the forest dies and starts to decay, the mycelial network moves in. It doesn't judge the decay, it metabolizes it. It breaks it down into its core nutrients and redistributes that energy to create the foundation for brand new life. It is the absolute master of turning death into rebirth.
And here's where it gets really wild. That branching, interconnected network. It looks almost exactly like the neural network inside your own brain. The macrocosm of the Earth's intelligence mirrors the microcosm of our own. Nature has already given us the blueprint.
Which brings us to the absolute core of this whole thing. If nature has this incredibly elegant system for taking what is dead and decayed and turning it into new life, can we do the same thing inside our own heads? Can we actually rewire our own internal network?
And the incredible thing is, the biological answer is a resounding yes. It's a process called neurogenesis, the actual birth of new neurons, the creation of new pathways in the brain. For so long, we thought the adult brain was basically fixed, but now we know for a fact it can change, it can grow, it can be rewired.
And this is where Paul Stamets drops a bombshell. He says, we can reset the neurology of the human brain. Think about that for a second. This isn't just some nice metaphor anymore. We are talking about literally hitting the reset button on our own system.
So how does it work? Well, psilocybin, the compound in certain mushrooms, is like a profound pattern interrupt for the brain. It interacts with our serotonin receptors in a way that quiets down that part of our brain that just loves to spin in circles. You know, the hub of the ego, the home of those rigid, parasitic loops. It disrupts them, creating this incredible window of opportunity to forge totally new, much healthier connections.
And that's it, right there. That is the blueprint. We can literally do what the forest does. We can take those old, dead, stagnant, parasitic thought patterns, break them down, and use that very same energy to build new ways of thinking, new ways of being, a whole new signal to broadcast to the world.
Okay, so we've laid it all out. We know what the parasite is, we know what it eats, and we've found nature's playbook for how to deal with it. So now, the ball is in your court. It's time to actually put this stuff into action.
It all starts with this one simple, massive truth. Your thoughts create your reality. Your inner world doesn't just reflect your outer world. It actively builds it. That parasitic loop only has power if you believe its thoughts are true. So the very first step is to question them. When a parasitic thought pops up, just label it. That's the loop. That's not me.
And building on that, wherever you put your focus, that's where your energy goes. It's like watering a plant. If you want to starve the parasite, you have to consciously stop watering it. It's not about pretending the negative doesn't exist. It's about actively choosing to shift your attention, your focus, your energy towards a new, coherent pathway.
And that's what it all boils down to, really. A choice you make, moment by moment. The choice to stop feeding that empty bucket. The choice to stop participating in your own diminishment. It's the choice to reclaim the power you've been unconsciously giving away and to simply observe the loop without becoming it. So here's the challenge. Here's the invitation. It's not about fighting a war against the darkness. It's about turning up your own light so bright that the shadows just disappear. It's about changing your broadcast from incoherence to coherence. It's about consciously choosing a new signal, a new reality, and a new you. The work starts now.